Right now at 5, emergency crews respond to a crash in Joplin.
And we are seasonably cool today. Temperatures near average, still a bit breezy though. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a federal agent fires shots during an incident in Minneapolis.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday, January the 15th. We're getting closer to Friday, and hopefully you're ready for the weekend because it is going to be very cold this weekend. That hasn't changed, unfortunately.
If you have, some sweaters, some warm coats that maybe you haven't been able to break out this year, now is going to be your time.
Yeah, you're going to get a couple, 3-4 days maybe to really break out the warm stuff. Or if you're like me, just stay inside. It's warmer inside than it is outside.
That's a good plan as well.
I mean, it's not a bad idea necessarily, but if you do have to be out this weekend, make sure you bundle up. You still want a jacket today and tomorrow because even though our temperatures are seasonable, they are cool and it is still going to be breezy out there. But at least today, not as windy as what we had yesterday. Man, I was at home listening to that wind howl out there. It was something else. A little calmer though this morning. We're going to start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. And it looks pretty good so far. We've got clear skies to start the day, and then we'll start to go partly cloudy a little later. Westco camera at 7th and Range Line, looking good as well this morning. And well, that one went away. It's either that or there's a total blackout here from this KDOT camera. It was working earlier. It's not now. Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll move on to the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looking pretty good as well. Temperatures. We are much colder. Yeah, see, we've lost that KDOT camera. I'll have to take care of that. 20 in Joplin, 18 in Pittsburgh, and the numbers around the region, they are cold. We've got upper teens to the north, with the exception of Neodesha. It's the cold spot right now at 12 degrees. Down south, we're getting into the low 20s, and it looks like our warmer spots are going to be Anderson and Grove, both at 23. And our temperatures this morning, every so often we get to break out this guy. We are 25 to almost 30 degrees colder now than where we were at this time 24 hours ago. On to the future track. Again, we'll start to go partly cloudy through the morning. We'll have southwest winds pick up just a bit, not as gusty as yesterday, but still breezy. We're otherwise dry, and as you see with the partly cloudy, some of you may just have clear skies, so not a bad day, just a chilly day. Kids out the door this morning about 20. Now, as you saw on our map, I said this is the median, but there's going to be colder spots. We're going to go mid-30s for lunch and recess, mid-40s as they head home, and that's where our highs are headed. We'll go about the mid-20s by 9, mid-30s by noon, low mid-40s out there for those highs with partly cloudy skies, southwest winds gusting to 20. Could keep our wind chills into the upper 30s through a good portion of the day when those winds do gust. And like I said, our average high is 44, so we're pretty close to normal. We're going to be pretty close to normal tomorrow as well, but the winds increase and then temperatures drop heading into the weekend. Talk about how cold it's going to get and whether or not those flurry chances are still there here in just a few more minutes.
Chris, thanks. Police respond to a stabbing at Casey's General Store on South Main Street in Jay, Oklahoma. Officers found an adult male bleeding from stab wounds inside the store late Tuesday night. A medical helicopter rushed the victim to an area hospital, and investigators quickly identified the suspect as Creedon Summerfield, who was later arrested and taken to the Delaware County Jail. This incident remains under investigation. Watch for updates on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the Parsons chief of police condemns a drive-by shooting that put innocent lives at risk in a neighborhood where families and children live. Chief Robert Spink says the gunfire erupted Tuesday night over a $20 marijuana deal, and now 2 people are in custody. It started Tuesday night with reports of gunfire in the 2600 block of Stevens Avenue. Officers stopped a vehicle matching the description, and during the stop, officers found multiple firearms, including a stolen rifle, drugs, and ammunition in the vehicle. They also found multiple shell casings at the scene, both in the driveway and on the sidewalk. Officers say there were several people in the home at the time, including children. No injuries were reported. In a statement issued yesterday, Chief Spink said, quote, "Instead of focusing on how close we came to losing innocent lives, some may try to minimize or deflect responsibility. Let me be clear. There is nothing petty about rounds being fired in a neighborhood where families and children live." End quote. The investigation is ongoing. Authorities seized almost 9 pounds of meth this week as 3 people in McDonald County, Missouri were arrested and charged with felony drug trafficking. According to the local sheriff's office, these arrests are part of a series of ongoing narcotics investigations in the county. On January 11th, a McDonald County deputy made contact with Robert Inbody near the town of Jane, Missouri. Deputies learned at the scene that Inbody is wanted in the state of Tennessee for violating parole after multiple offenses of child neglect. Authorities conducted a search of his backpack, revealing multiple syringes and a large bag containing a white crystal substance. The sheriff's office seized a quarter pound of methamphetamine, and Inbody remains in custody with pending charges of trafficking drugs. Earlier this month, the McDonald County Sheriff's Office and the Ozark Drug Enforcement Team received information about a woman suspected of selling large amounts of methamphetamine. On January 13th, a special response team was sent to Powell, Missouri to detain Devin Black and several others. Authorities secured the bus that Black was living in and searched the rest of the property with foot patrols and drones. Dennis Wishon was located hiding in the woods with a backpack that contained multiple bags of meth and similar substances. In total, the sheriff's office seized around 8 pounds of suspected methamphetamine, along with mushrooms, pills, and other drug-related items. Emergency services respond to reports of a T-bone crash in Joplin yesterday. The crash occurred near 31st and Main at the entrance to the parking lot of a small strip center. The occupants of one car were transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Officers processed the crash, and towing companies promptly removed vehicles and debris from the area. Well, breaking news, ICE officers come under attack during an arrest operation in North Minneapolis Wednesday night. 3 men assault an agent with shovels near North 6th Street around 7 p.m. The officers fired defensive shots, striking one Venezuelan migrant in the leg. The wounded suspect flees into a house where 3 others barricade themselves. ICE tactical teams breach the residence and arrest all 4. The shooting happens 1 week after another ICE officer fatally shot someone in South Minneapolis. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. High-level meetings at the White House over territorial dispute. Plus, the Motor City gears up for its biggest automotive event of the year. And we have seasonably cool temperatures in the 4 states. Chris has a look at our Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, White House officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, met with the foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland as President Donald Trump doubles down on his aim to take over Greenland. Erica Brown has the latest from the White House.
The foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland held a news conference after their meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio about the future of the Danish territory.
Our aim was to find a joint way forward to increase Arctic security.
It comes hours after President Trump claimed once again that the U.S. needs Greenland for national security reasons, posting on social media that it is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building. He added if the U.S. doesn't get it, Russia or China will. Danish and Greenlandic officials say they have agreed to disagree with the U.S. position.
For us, ideas that would not respect territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark and the right of self-determination of the Greenlandic people are, of course, totally unacceptable.
Greenland, through the Kingdom of Denmark, is a NATO ally. On Tuesday, Greenland's Prime Minister said it chooses Denmark over the United States. When asked about the Prime Minister's comment, President Trump had this to say.
I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him.
The White House posturing on Greenland has threatened to destabilize the NATO alliance, drawing bipartisan concerns on the floor of the U.S. Senate.
I've yet to hear from this administration a single thing we need from Greenland that the sovereign people is not ready and willing to grant us.
Denmark's prime minister said earlier this month that an attack on one NATO country by another would mean the end of the alliance. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration refuses to rule out using military force to acquire Greenland, but President Trump has said that he would prefer to make a deal. Still to come, from athletes to everyday people, a cold therapy craze takes hold, the benefits people claim, and what doctors say. Plus, seasonably cool temperatures in the 4 states. Chris has a look at our Thursday forecast. Start your engines this Saturday. The 2026 Detroit Auto Show is revving up in the Motor City. Alyssa Bergio gives us a sneak peek at some of the cutting-edge vehicles on display.
In 3 days, Detroit will showcase what the Motor City is all about at this year's auto show. Curious what's on display by the big 3 automakers? Let me show you. The countdown is on for the 2026 Detroit Auto Show. Car enthusiasts, rev your engine as this year's setup is top-notch. Let's start with Ford's Bronco RTR, revealed Tuesday night.
This vehicle, as its name says, is truly ready to rock.
The neon green designs and eclectic decals specific to this vehicle to intrigue consumers interested in an off-road lifestyle.
This one's really unique in that we are offering up some high-speed off-road performance capability to go out and handle the toughest of elements.
At GM, take a look at this limited edition Chevy Silverado, part of the automaker's Stars and Steels collection to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. A portion of sales will go to a charity that benefits first responders.
Customers were able to see special design details. For instance, there's the flag and the hood. You'll see some details on the interior as well. We haven't announced exactly how many for this, but for instance, the Corvette ZR1X that we have over there, there's only going to be 250 of those that we sell.
Steering our way to Stellantis, where the future of electric takes center stage with Jeep Recon.
It is the only trail-rated fully electric vehicle. You can take the doors off with no tools. You can take out the rear quarter glass and the swing gate glass.
Interested in more luxury brands? Ferrari has you covered. And check out this futuristic concept car. Its bold design and cutting-edge innovation highlights the creativity of the Motor City. An auto show giving a glimpse into what makes Detroit the automotive capital of the world. In Detroit, Alicia Bergio, CBS News, Detroit.
Also announced are the winners of the 2026 North American Car, Truck, and Utility Vehicle of the Year Awards. Dodge Charger took home the win for car, the Ford Maverick Lobo was named the winner for truck, and the Hyundai Palisade was awarded the win for Utility Vehicle of the Year. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, it is really cold out there this morning. We got teens, we've got 20s, clear skies. Winds will pick up again later today. Partly cloudy skies and seasonable temperatures ahead of that big drop this weekend. Details on all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:17. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:20 now on this Thursday morning. We, of course, are going to start with our future track where today, not too bad. It's going to be seasonably cool. It's going to be breezy again. Winds will pick up out of the southwest, and we'll have some mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Not a lot going on for us today, and the partly cloudy skies will continue through the overnight hours as well. As we go into Friday morning, that's when we'll start to see skies become mostly cloudy. We're still dry, but overnight tonight, winds will shift out of the northwest, initially still gusting to 20. But as this boundary passes through, those northwest winds will increase through the day on Friday, and they'll start gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour or so. So it's going to be breezy. Now tomorrow, again, we should be near average for our highs, maybe a couple of degrees above. But with those gusty northwest winds, it's certainly going to feel a lot colder. Now, we've talked about the potential for some flurries. You can see future tracks got a little bit out there by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. I think really be late evening, and you see here, we go about 9, 10 o'clock. We've got these little snow showers, and so we got some flurries. As we've discussed, nothing really expected out of this. Shouldn't really accumulate, shouldn't really do much. But if you see some flurries late tomorrow night or into Saturday even, don't be surprised. Just don't panic about it. Now, as we go overnight, Friday into Saturday, we still have some of these light flurries, some snow showers out there. We start off with partly cloudy skies Saturday, and then the first half of the day, an additional round of, again, some isolated flurries or a brief light snow will be possible. But as you can see, it's really not going to add up to much of anything. But as I mentioned, if you see the flurries, don't immediately speed to the supermarket to grab up all the supplies. It's not going to do anything for you. After that, after about noon, noon, 1 o'clock at the latest. Skies will begin to clear on our Saturday. We're still a bit breezy with those northwest winds, and that's going to be it. We're also going to be considerably colder. Let's take a look at this morning as we head out the door. Again, quite cold. And as I mentioned, some of you are in the teens this morning, but we should start around 20 and then go right around the low 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, temperatures are climbing. Our high today, similar to what it was yesterday. In fact, that number specifically is exactly the same. The difference is we're not hitting it at noon with temperatures dropping. That's what we'll eventually get to. It's about the mid 40s, so pretty close to average. Southwest winds gusting to 20 miles an hour. Into the evening, partly cloudy skies continue. A slow drop in temperatures back to the mid 30s by 10. And even though this is cold, it will technically be above normal. Our average low is supposed to be about 25, so we're going to be above normal, back in the low 30s. Northwest winds, as I mentioned, late this evening, they'll switch, still gusting upwards of 20. Now for Friday, those northwest winds ramp up a little more. That is not... Man, I must have hit the wrong button somewhere. It is not going to be 79. That would be nice. 79 with flurries would certainly be an interesting day. It is not. It is going to be in the mid to upper 40s. I don't know how I typed that one in. It must have been wishful thinking on my part. As I mentioned, though, mostly cloudy skies, some light flurries, and then we'll have those isolated flurries into the morning for our Saturday, but you can see we're a lot colder. Low 30s, mid 30s on Sundays. Now we're dropping below average. Still looking at lows Saturday night into Sunday at 10, and we're still cold initially to start next week, and we're still expecting that warm up. Maybe not into the 60s necessarily, but some 50s for sure, with some shower chances Thursday and Friday. That is interesting. 79. I did see that once a long time ago. There was a glitch on the National Weather Service website. It was in the summertime. We had a high of 98, but the forecast said snow. And I was like, that's a snow I can get behind. Same here. Flurries at 80 degrees. I'm all right with that. Well, anyway, I'll get that fixed for you. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s tomorrow. And that's it for your forecast. Now we're sending it over to Samantha with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, if you missed kicking off the new year with a polar plunge, you can still get in on the growing trend of cold plunges. Many wellness facilities and gyms are adding this feature, said to help with inflammation after a workout and even improve mental clarity. Christian Benavides goes for a dip.
This winter in Miami, it's freezing. Customers at the ice room slide into the tub, lowering into water as cold as 36 degrees for about 2 minutes on purpose.
My body is going through a lot of high impact movements.
Competitive athlete Kevin Arellano added a cold plunge to his fitness recovery regimen about 6 months ago and says the benefits are instant.
Immediately when I come out, I feel relaxed, I feel energized, I feel refreshed, mentally clear.
Director of Operations Kathy Orjuela says plunging is getting more and more popular.
Wellness is not something that you do anymore when something goes wrong. It's something that people are building into their daily routines.
It's not necessarily my daily routine.
Whoa, wow.
It took a few tries to finally get in.
If the tub is too much to consider right now, you can test the waters in the privacy of your own home. Experts say end your daily shower standing under 30 to 60 seconds of cold running water.
I think it's always important to weigh the risk benefit and to really understand what the risk is for you as an individual.
Physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist Dr. Craig Van Dien says the activity is not recommended for people with heart or lung conditions. But
most of the evidence that's out there today supports cold plunging for recovery after exercise, so particularly your high intensity exercise.
Arellano's regimen here includes compression therapy, an infrared sauna, and finally the cold plunge.
You could be somebody that's dealing with mental stress, physical stress. Cold plunging in a way helps you overcome that.
He says getting cold feet never felt so good. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, Joplin leaders gather for a first-of-its-kind community discussion. The major topics on the table.
And we are going to be seasonably cool today, but we have a very cold start. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, new data reveals another year of record-breaking global temperatures.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, January the 15th, almost to Friday out there.
Yeah.
Got pretty cold, pretty windy yesterday. And if you were with us a moment ago, I figured out what happened with that 79. I mean, that is wishful thinking. But you know, on a keyboard, you have the number side, the number keys, and the temperature is supposed to be 46. But I wasn't looking, and I had my fingers one notch too high and punched in 79. Although, again, 79 and some flurries, that would be pretty neat. I mean, imagine the kids being able to play in snow, but it's 80 degrees outside.
It would be melting very quickly.
It would be. That would be interesting, though. Unfortunately, that's
it's
not
like
gonna happen.
Olaf singing, his In Summer song.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, something like that.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. It's going to be chilly again tomorrow. But first, we need to get through our Thursday. We're going to start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Things are looking pretty good. We have clear skies so far to start the day. We'll eventually have a few clouds for some of us later. West Coast camera, 7th and range line in Joplin. Looks good. Clear skies out there. And KDOT camera is now, it just suddenly came back up at 69 400, looking east along 171. Looking good as well. And our final stop, the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line in Joplin, looking good. A few more cars out there at this time of day, at least, more than what we usually see. Temperatures, though, not so pleasant. 20 in Joplin, 18 in Pittsburgh. Now, bear in mind, this time of year, our average low is 25. And take a look at some of these other temperatures. Neodesha is at 12 degrees. Parsons at 13. So some of you are a little colder than the rest of us, but we've got, for most of us, upper teens and low 20s. But a very cold start to the day. And compared to yesterday, we are 25 to 30 degrees colder now than where we were 24 hours ago. As I mentioned, we'll have some mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area. Southwest winds will start to pick up as we go through the morning into the afternoon. And outside of that, though, we're going to be dry. It's going to be pretty decent across the area. It's just going to be seasonably cool because our average high is about 44. We've got 20 kids heading out the door this morning, mid-30s by lunch and recess, mid-40s as they head home. We're starting the day into the mid-20s by 9, mid-30s by noon, and low to mid-40s for most of us for our highs today. So again, pretty close to average. Southwest winds, though, 5 to 10, occasionally gusting to 20. It's going to be breezy tonight. It's going to be breezy tomorrow, but at least still seasonable temperatures ahead of a big temperature drop heading into this weekend. We're going to break down those details for you here in just a few more minutes.
Chris, thanks. Schools in Kansas will get a high-tech upgrade to security thanks to a $10 million AI program. The program, known as the Safe and Secure Firearm Detection Program, uses AI-powered firearm detection systems with security camera software. According to Kansas Attorney General, the technology detects only openly displayed firearms, not facial recognition. A monitoring center verifies threats 24/7 every day of the year. The system alerts staff and law enforcement in as little as 3 to 5 seconds, including images and threat location. The application period is open, but the program is on a first-come, first-served basis. For more information, including how to apply, head over to KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the city of Joplin hosted the inaugural State of the Community event yesterday. Leaders from across local government, business, education, and nonprofits joined together to talk about accomplishments and challenges in the Joplin area. Topics tackled included public safety, economic opportunity, and addressing homelessness.
Pandemic happened in early 2020, and it kind of set some of that momentum backwards a little bit. But now we're coming out of that and we're on the other side, and we've laid the foundation for the next level of progress in our community. So, okay, everybody, the stage is set. Come get on the boat with us and let's go forward.
Mayor Cortez says he hopes to continue connecting with the community through some events, newsletters, and open city council meetings. A group of concerned residents gathered in the parking lot across from the Cornell complex to protest the State of the Community event. The group is associated with the outreach program Hopeful Bites, who were feeding people during the demonstration. They cite treatment of the unhoused population and the admission fee for the event as reasons for the protest.
To recognize that maybe it's more important to help others and to not do it to be on video or to look popular, and instead just to do it. And our city government is doing their best to try to shut us down, and we're following what they ask to an extent, you know what I mean?
In addressing the accessibility concerns, city officials say they plan to make a video of the event publicly available later this week. Well, Sir Optimist International of Joplin proves laughter is the best medicine and the best fundraiser, too. In February, the group will host the 10th annual Comedy for Camp and S'more event at the Cornell Complex. The event provides an opportunity for the community to help make an impact by supporting programs that help local foster children and empowering women.
Attending the event, you're supporting our cause, which helps do good in our community. It helps make an impact with children and women and girls, and we're just so grateful for the support of our community, especially our sponsors and all of that too, who've stepped up to help make sure this event happens.
The Comedy for Camp event is Friday, February 20th, with opening act Jodie Fuller and the headliner Kevin Farley. Tickets are on sale now. Well, the planet hit its third hottest year on record in 2025, extending a run of unprecedented heat. As Tina Cross reports, climate researchers are out with a new report about the world's warming temperatures and what it could mean for the years ahead.
When it comes to global temperatures, the thermometer just keeps climbing. And climate scientists say record-breaking heat is the new normal.
2025 was the third warmest year on record after 2024 and 2023. We've seen exceptional heat both in air, land and ocean temperatures.
The European Climate Service Copernicus has released new data showing warming temperatures are pushing the planet closer to breaking international climate targets. Experts say last year was far hotter than even a decade ago, despite natural cooling from La Nina, and insists the overwhelming culprit is clear: the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas.
Our atmosphere acts like a thermal blanket. When we add additional aerosols, such as carbon dioxide and methane, that acts to thicken that blanket, which then increases the insulation and our planet gets warmer.
And researchers say that trapped heat is driving extreme weather, and at least in part, fueled the intensity of last year's Los Angeles fires and the destructive force of Hurricane Melissa.
We do know that the best tool available is to reduce the emissions, and the sooner we reduce the emission, the more we can mitigate the risk.
Giving the planet a fighting chance to beat the heat. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Researchers found Europe is the fastest warming continent, with temperatures rising at roughly twice the global average since the 1980s. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Millions of student loan borrowers get important notices from the federal government. And still to come in sports, the Labette County Grizzlies basketball team is playing their best basketball in recent weeks. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, if you borrowed money from the Department of Education to pay for college and are behind on those student loan payments, the Trump administration is cracking down. CBS News analyst Jill Schleichinger explains what's happening and steps you can take.
The Department of Education is sending out notices that could impact more than 5 million federal student loan borrowers who are in default. Even if you have not yet received notification, it's important to understand the process when you do not pay your loans on time. When you miss a payment, even just one, you are considered delinquent. Once a payment is 90 days late, it gets reported to credit bureaus, which dings your credit score, making it harder and more expensive to get approved for credit cards, car loans, or mortgages. You are considered in default after 270 days of non-payment. The DOE is notifying those in student loan default that their wages will be garnished, which means the government can take up to 15% of your paycheck directly without going to court. Federal benefits like Social Security and income tax refunds could also be tapped for repayment. So if you're in default, contact your loan servicer immediately. You have a few options: loan rehabilitation, making 9 affordable payments over 10 months, loan consolidation into a new direct loan, or switching to an income repayment plan that fits your budget. The key is acting quickly before garnishment begins. The Department of Education says more notices will be going out in the months ahead. In New York, I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Well, that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, we've got clear skies out there, but bitterly cold temperatures to start the day, so you certainly want to bundle up. We're going to be close to normal for our highs, a bit breezy as well, and then another big drop in temperatures heading into the weekend. Got a full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 5:41.
Love guacamole? You should have no problem finding avocados this year. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. 2026 is expected to be a good year for guac. Avocados from Mexico says it expects a record-breaking 2.5 billion pounds of Mexican avocados to be delivered to the U.S. this season. Now, of that, 280 million pounds will be made available just for the Super Bowl. Now, the group is also eyeing the upcoming World Cup for aggressive avocado promotion. Officials say Mexico has a monster-sized crop this year thanks to timely rains. The FDA has issued a nationwide recall of a specialty chocolate bar. It's due to potential salmonella contamination. Now, the agency is saying that Spring and Mulberry is voluntarily recalling one of its mint leaf date sweetened chocolate bars. It follows a routine test by a third-party lab which suggested possible contamination. Now, no illnesses have been reported. The affected chocolate bars have been available for online purchase and at select retail outlets nationwide since September. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins announcing this week a plan to buy up to $80 million worth of certain specialty crops from farmers and producers. The food would then be distributed to food banks and nutrition assistance programs across the country. USDA planning to purchase $20 million worth of almonds, $20 million in grape juice, along with the same amount in pistachios and raisins. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, a bitterly cold start to the day. We have temperatures in the teens and 20s across the area, and we are almost 30 degrees colder now than where we were 24 hours ago. As for the rest of today, we will eventually warm to near average highs out there, and we'll have a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Also through the morning, southwest winds will start to pick up. They'll be gusting upwards of about 20. Otherwise, we're pretty dry. We're calm. We're not too bad. Now tonight, winds are going to shift out of the northwest, still gusting to 20, and as we head into Friday, clouds will begin to increase, and we'll go with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day Friday. Despite the clouds and the gusty northwest winds, we're going to still be near average, at least for our highs, right around the mid-40s. Our average high this time of year is about 44. Average low is about 25. So that's why this morning we're well below average out there, but our highs today and tomorrow will be pretty normal. Now, late Friday, we talked about those flurry chances, and as early as 5, you'd see a couple of sprinkles, maybe a stray flurry or two. We're still looking nothing significant from any of the snowfall potential. It's really looking at just some light flurries, and they're going to be hit and miss. By 10 o'clock tomorrow, that's when we start to see it show up a little better on Future Track. And that will continue overnight into early Saturday morning. Then we have a brief period of clearing as we get closer to sunrise Saturday, and then with some partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies before noon. Another round of, again, some light snow showers or some light flurries will be possible. But again, if you see the snow falling, do not immediately run to the grocery store. You'll be all right. It's not going to add up to much of anything. Now, if for any reason it comes down a little heavier for a minute, you could get a dusting on grassy surfaces. But even then, like I said, not expecting much out of this snowfall. Once we get past noon, skies will begin to gradually clear, and by Saturday evening, we're going to start to go mostly clear and eventually with clear skies Saturday night into Sunday. That's going to be where we start to see our big temperature drop. That starts tomorrow night into Saturday. We are bitterly cold Saturday, Sunday, and Monday out there with temperatures not warming very much. So again, it is very cold to start today, but at least we'll start to warm up. About 20 by 8, and we'll go in the low 30s by 11 a.m. and eventually again going partly cloudy. Highs today seasonable. In fact, that number is exactly the same as it was yesterday. The biggest difference is we're not hitting it here with temperatures dropping. We're going to reach it by what will be about peak heating for this time of year. And again, southwest winds 5 to 10, occasionally gusting to 20. Through the evening, partly cloudy skies will continue back to the mid-30s by 10 o'clock tonight. And this low, while cold, is above average as we go back into low 30s. Northwest winds, again, late tonight, gusting to 20 as as they shift out there. Then those northwest winds start gusting upwards of 30 tomorrow, so it's certainly going to make it a little bit colder. At least it's going to feel colder. Near normal lows Friday night into Saturday, but then by Saturday, as you see, we don't do very much warming, only into the low 30s. Saturday night just stinks. 10 degrees for the low, which also means, of course, that's going to be a flat average. Some of you may be into the low teens, others may be into the single digits. So a bitterly cold night, Saturday into Sunday. Not a lot of warming taking place Sunday or Monday, so we hang out in the mid-30s. By Tuesday next week, we're back to near normal, which will certainly be good. And then we're still looking at least some 50s. I know we had a 60 for Friday, but what we're looking at is slightly more cloud cover and slightly better shower chances. So that'll probably prevent us from reaching the low 60s, but temperatures still climbing above normal into the 50s out there before dropping by next Saturday. That is a check of your forecast. I'm going to send it over to Samantha now with sports.
Thanks, Chris. Today in sports, the Labette County boys basketball squad is hitting their stride, winning 3 of their last 4 matchups. And as we get closer to playoff time, the Grizzlies look to be playing their best basketball. For this squad, it all starts with their senior duo of All-State point guard Keegan Bates and Barrett Heaston. Bates and Heaston are both 3-year starters, becoming the go-to guys for Labette County, and sharing the court is nothing new for this pair, growing up together as teammates.
Important for our younger guys to see that. They've been through many vagames with our varsity team. Keegan's really an extension of the head coach. He's our point guard. He knows exactly what we want as a staff. Barrett just leads by example all the time. Always does the right thing. A good leader on and off the court. Both of those guys are. So that's going to help us down the stretch. So, big moments, we expect them to really perform and then carry us down the stretch at the end of games.
Kindergarten, first grade, we've been playing together. He's been the one that I've actually had to play with since I was a little kid. So chemistry is great. We play all 3 sports together and great bond together.
One goal for the Grizzlies this season is the Southeast Kansas League title. After winning a league championship on the football field this season, the team feels that their experience on the gridiron has changed the culture around Labette County athletics.
Just having the experience of the playoff run, that's invaluable. You get that feeling of, we got to go win this next game. So that's been a big goal of these seniors. That was our number 1 goal when we talked about it on day 1 is try to go win an SEK title. To do that, we've got to come out and play complete games on the SEK night to night.
It's changing the culture here for sure. It's more of a winning culture now. Right now we're trying to translate that to the basketball locker room too, and I think we're going to get there real soon.
It's a huge translation, building a winning culture is big in winning, and a lot of us football players are now basketball players, and if they're not playing football, we're either wrestling or they're in the front row of the student section. So we're kind of building a winning culture, and bringing the winning from football over to basketball is huge.
Labette County is back in action on Friday when they host Pittsburgh. Tip-off is set for 7:30 from Altamont. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back. Well, McDonald County businesses learn how to protect themselves from rising crime trends at a free chamber training session. The McDonald County Chamber hosted its latest Lunch and Learn event, part of a series the chamber has been offering for the past 2 to 3 years. The guest speaker was McDonald County prosecuting attorney Malia Cheney, who spoke about crime trends her office is seeing and how local businesses can better protect themselves.
Really trying to provide information that will help, especially our small businesses, because a lot of times they're out there on their own and they don't have a big corporation that will train them or provide them the information they need.
The chamber is one of the few in the region offering these sessions at no cost.
And we have a bitterly cold start to the day. As I mentioned earlier, our temperatures right now, teens and 20s, and our average low is supposed to be about 25 degrees, and we are well below that. Now, daytime highs, though, will be pretty close to normal, so we will do some warming. We've got clear skies now. Clouds increase a bit, so mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area. We're going to start at about 20 and make it into the low 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. As we head into the afternoon, partly cloudy skies, and as I mentioned, those highs climbing to about the mid-40s, so that number, at least as a general number, hasn't changed since yesterday. As I mentioned too, the difference is temperature won't be falling through the day. Instead, it will eventually reach that by about 4 o'clock or so this afternoon, and those southwest winds gusting to 20. Overnight tonight, through the evening first, partly cloudy skies, mid-30s out there. We're going to fall back into the low 30s, so while we're cold, we're still above normal for tonight. And winds late tonight will shift out of the northwest and be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. So it's going to make it feel a little bit cooler. We're talking wind chills about 20 to 25 overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now we could get some flurries. Talk about it in a moment. Ahead of that, clouds increasing Friday. We'll go mostly cloudy. Those northwest winds pick up even more so. They start gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour. So it's certainly going to make it feel colder again. But we're still near normal, maybe a couple of degrees above, about the mid 40s, and pretty close to average Friday night, dropping back into the low 20s. However, with that passing of that cold front, we don't do a lot of warming as we head into Saturday. So late Friday, I'd say after 9 or 10 o'clock, and then leading through Saturday up to about noon or so, we could get some isolated flurries or some brief snow showers. We're not expecting anything significant by any means, no major accumulations, nothing like that. But don't be surprised if you see some flakes flying late tomorrow night into the first half of our Saturday. We're only into the low 30s, and then with that again being an average, we're talking some locations may only be into the upper 20s. We're down to about 10 Saturday night. So we're again talking some of you in the low teens, others in the single digits. Still very cold Sunday and Monday, mid 30s out there. And then as we go to Tuesday next week, a little more sunshine, a little closer to normal. And while we don't have any 60s painted up there as we go into next week, we still do go back above normal into the 50s. And the reason those 60s have gone away is we're looking at slightly better shower chances and more cloud cover toward the end of next week, which will keep us a little cooler, but again, still above normal. Let's check your forecast. We are back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.